This is Faheem Mustafa. Welcome you to dietingmedics.com. Subscribe and share our channel to get continuous updates on our upcoming lectures on evidence-based nutrition. We are discussing about the ketogenic diet, and in our previous lecture we discussed that when a person is on ketogenic diet and when a person is taking diet that is very high in fat, moderate in protein and very low in carbohydrate. As a result of this diet, insulin level go down in our body and counter-regulatory hormones like glucagon, catecholamines, growth hormones and cortisol. The level of these counter-regulatory hormones increase. When insulin level go down, as a result, counter-regulatory hormone level, number one is glucagon increase. As a result of increase in the level of these counter-regulatory hormones, lipolysis start. Huge lipolysis start in our body, and in the adipose tissues, triglycerides break down occur, and triglycerides break down into free fatty acids and glycerol. These free fatty acids and glycerol are then transported into the blood circulation. These free fatty acids and glycerol are then transported into the blood circulation. So from the blood circulation, both free fatty acids and glycerol are then transported to the target tissues where they are used as an energy source. Glycerol is a water soluble and free fatty acid, these are the fat soluble. Now the free fatty acid transport along with any other transport, it need assistance of any other transporter. It transport to the target tissues along with protein, and that is the albumin. It transports with protein, that protein is albumin. Free fatty acid bind with this protein and then it transport to the target tissues. And glycerol is a water soluble, it don't need any other transporter, it transport along to the target tissues and where it is used as an energy source. These free fatty acids are, when it's transported to the target tissues, for this it's a target, I just draw a liver cell here, and it's transported to the target tissue. When it's entered into a cell, free fatty acid, then it enter into the mitochondria. In the mitochondria, free fatty acids breakdown occur in the mitochondria, and free fatty acid converted to acetyl-CoA through the beta oxidation. It's converted to the acetyl-CoA and through the process known as beta oxidation. And then acetyl-CoA enter into TCA cycle. Acetyl-CoA along with oxaloacetate converted into the citrate, and then TCA cycle starts. But in the case of ketogenic diet, acetyl-CoA, instead of entering into the TCA cycle, it enter into another pathway. That pathway is the ketogenesis. We have discussed till now, till this point, we have discussed in the previous lecture that when the person is on ketogenic diet, huge lipolysis start in our body, and triglycerides start breaking down into free fatty acids and glycerol, and these free fatty acids then transported to the target tissues, and when in the target tissue, it's enter into, instead of entering into TCA cycle, it enter into the ketogenic pathway. Let's discuss why acetyl-CoA, instead of entering into the TCA cycle, it enters into the ketogenesis. it enters into the ketogenic pathway. The number one point is, when free fatty acid breakdown occur through the process known as beta oxidation, and it's converted into the acetyl-CoA. During the beta oxidation, a large number of energy-rich molecules are produced. These are NADH and FADH2. These energy-rich molecules slow down the TCA cycle. These energy-rich molecules are responsible. These energy-rich molecules are responsible that acetyl-CoA is not entering into the TCA cycle. It is entering into the ketogenesis pathway. Listen again. The number one point: why acetyl-CoA, instead of entering into the TCA cycle, it's entering into the ketogenic pathway. The number one point is, when the body is on ketogenic diet, huge lipolysis occur, a large number of free fatty acids synthesized in our body, and when a large number of free fatty acids synthesized, in that case the conversion of free fatty acid into acetyl-CoA is also its conversion also increase. As a result, through the beta oxidation, NADH and FADH2, these energy-rich molecules production also increase. As a result of increase in the production of these energy-rich molecules will slow down the TCA cycle, and as a result, acetyl-CoA will not enter into the TCA cycle, it enter into the ketogenic pathway. The second point is, normally glucose from the blood circulation, it enters into the through the glycolysis pathway. It's converted into the pyruvate, and pyruvate is converted to acetyl-CoA, and acetyl-CoA is then enter into the TCA cycle. That's the normal pathway. That through the glycolysis, glucose is converted into the pyruvate, and pyruvate then is converted into the acetyl-CoA, and acetyl-CoA enter into the TCA cycle. But when the body is on ketogenic diet, another pathway starts. When the body is on ketogenic diet, gluconeogenesis pathway starts. Insulin, as a result of ketogenic diet, insulin level go down, counter-regulatory hormones level increase, and gluconeogenesis pathway starts. In that case, oxaloacetate convert into the phosphoenol pyruvate, and phosphoenol pyruvate then converted into the glucose. As a result, oxaloacetate will not be available for acetyl-CoA to fuse with acetyl-CoA and enter into the TCA cycle. And acetyl-CoA then enter into the ketogenic pathway instead of entering into the TCA cycle. Listen again. The second point is, when the body is on ketogenic diet, gluconeogenesis pathway starts, and in the gluconeogenesis pathway, oxaloacetate enter into the gluconeogenesis pathway. Oxaloacetate convert into the phosphoenol pyruvate, and the phosphoenol pyruvate then is converted into the glucose. Now, these oxaloacetate actually fuse with acetyl-CoA, and then acetyl-CoA enter into the TCA cycle. Now, when the large number of oxaloacetate used in the gluconeogenesis pathway, then oxaloacetate will not, there will be no more oxaloacetate to fuse with acetyl-CoA and to convert it into the citrate. As a result, this acetyl-CoA will not enter into the TCA cycle, and it enter into the ketogenic pathway. So the number one point is, due to a large number of synthesis of these energy-rich molecules in the beta oxidation, these energy-rich molecules will inhibit the TCA cycle, slow down the TCA cycle, and acetyl-CoA will not enter into the TCA cycle is entered to the ketogenic pathway. And the second point is oxaloacetate used in gluconeogenesis pathway, and oxaloacetate will not left and no more oxaloacetate will be left behind to fuse with acetyl CoA and convert it into the citrate. As a result, acetyl CoA will not enter into the TCA cycle, and it enter into the ketogenic pathway. Let's discuss how the ketogenesis occur in our body. Acetyl CoA, it binds to acetyl CoA molecules. Suppose it's a CoA group and it's acetyl. So it's a acetyl CoA and it's another acetyl CoA molecule. Two acetyl CoA molecules bind together and they are converted into the acetyl CoA. So that is the acetyl CoA, and one CoA molecule left behind. It's acetyl CoA. In the enzymes that used during this reaction, that enzyme is the acetyl CoA synthase. That enzyme which used here, I write it, and number one enzyme that used at this point is the acetyl CoA synthase. And the first step in the ketogenesis is that two acetyl CoA molecules bind together and they are converted into the acetyl CoA, and one CoA molecule left behind. And the enzymes that used during this reaction, that is the acetyl CoA synthase. Then another CoA molecule bind with acetyl CoA. Another CoA molecule come and it bind with acetyl CoA and convert it into it lead to the synthesis of another very important molecule, that is the HMG CoA. This is the HMG CoA. That is the 3-hydroxy 3-methyl-glutyryl CoA. And the enzyme that is used here during this reaction, that is the enzyme number 2, and that enzyme is HMG CoA synthase. So in the first reaction, two acetyl CoA molecules bind together and it's converted into the acetyl CoA, and one CoA molecule left behind. And the enzyme that used here, that is the acetyl CoA synthase. So in the second step, another CoA molecule come here and it bind with the acetyl CoA and convert it into the HMG CoA, that is the 3-hydroxy 3-methyl-glutyryl CoA, and the enzyme that is used here, that is the HMG CoA synthase. Then another important enzyme come and hit at the HMG CoA and break it into the two molecules. Another enzyme that, so here an important enzyme come, so that is the enzyme number 3. That enzyme break this HMG CoA at this point and convert it into the acetoacetate. And the enzyme that is the third enzyme, that is the HMG-CoA ligase. Third enzyme, that is HMG-CoA ligase. HMG-CoA ligase break down HMG-CoA and can break down it into the acetoacetate and acetyl-CoA. This acetoacetate is a primary ketone body. This acetoacetate, this is the acetoacetate. It's a primary ketone body. Acetoacetate then can be transported into a different body, into extrahepatic tissues, where it can be used as an energy source. But acetoacetate can also be further converted into a second ketone body. It can go into two directions, can go in two pathways. The number one, it can convert into the acetone, can be converted into acetone under decarboxylation reaction. Under decarboxylation reaction, acetoacetate can be converted to the acetone. So acetone is actually, it's not, our body did not use acetone as an energy source. It moved out from our body through our respiratory system, and it gives fruity smell. And acetoacetate can also convert into the beta hydroxybutyrate. It can be converted into the beta hydroxybutyrate. And beta hydroxybutyrate is a second ketone body. But this conversion is depending upon the ratio of NAD and NADH. As we discussed earlier, that due to massive lipolysis, due to massive beta oxidation, and free fatty acid is converted into the acetyl-CoA through the beta oxidation. As a result of beta oxidation, a large number of NADH energy-rich molecules are synthesized. As a result of those energy-rich molecules, acetoacetate its reduction of acetoacetate reduction occur. As a result, acetoacetate reduces into beta hydroxybutyrate. Here another reaction occurred, that this reaction is reversible. There NADH and the enzyme that used during this reduction reaction, that enzyme is beta hydroxybutyrate dehydrogenase. And the enzyme number 4, fourth enzyme is, that is the beta hydroxybutyrate dehydrogenase. Beta hydroxybutyrate dehydrogenase actually convert acetoacetate into the beta hydroxybutyrate, but this reaction is a reversible reaction, as in the liver cell, in the liver mitochondria, due to large number of NADH, acetoacetate reduce into the beta hydroxybutyrate. But in the extrahepatic tissues, where the level of NAD is high and NADH is low, in that case, beta hydroxybutyrate can move back to the convert into the acetoacetate, and beta hydroxybutyrate oxidized back into the acetoacetate in the extrahepatic tissue. That's depending on the level of NAD, ratio of NAD and NADH, and as a result of due to large number of NADH in the mitochondria, in the liver mitochondria, in that case, due to this point, acetoacetate is converted into the beta hydroxybutyrate, and the extrahepatic tissues, beta hydroxybutyrate oxidized back to the acetoacetate. Another point, the enzyme that we discussed, that acetoacetyl-CoA synthase, this enzyme is present both in the mitochondrial matrix and in the cytosol. and due to the presence of the acetoacetyl CoA synthase both in mitochondrial matrix and the cytosol, HMG-CoA is synthesized both in the mitochondrial matrix and in the cytosol. And if the HMG-CoA synthesized in the mitochondria, it leads to the synthesis of ketone bodies. And if HMG-CoA synthesized in the cytosol, then it leads to the synthesis of cholesterol. And ketone bodies are synthesized only in the liver. But liver do not use ketone bodies as an energy source. Only extrahepatic tissues use ketone bodies as an energy source. And the reason is liver do not have enzyme that break down these ketone bodies and convert into the ATP's energy. And there is another tissue that do not use ketone bodies as an energy source, that is the red blood cells. Red blood cells do not use ketone bodies as an energy source. And that reason is that red blood cells do not have mitochondria, and ketone bodies breakdown occur in the mitochondria. That's why red blood cells also do not use ketone bodies as an energy source. Okay, let's have a recap. When the body is on ketogenic diet, when a person is taking very high fat diet, moderate protein, and very low carbohydrate diet, in that case, body insulin level go down, counter-regulatory hormones level increase. As a result of increase in counter-regulatory hormones, massive, huge lipolysis occur in our body. In that case, free fatty acids are synthesized, and free fatty acids then transported to the target tissues where they are used as an energy source. But in the ketogenic diet, these free fatty acids, instead of entering into the TC cycle, it enters into another pathway. It leads to the ketogenic pathway. It leads to the synthesis of ketone bodies. And in the ketogenesis, acetyl CoA molecule bind together, two acetyl CoA molecule bind together, and they lead to the synthesis of acetoacetyl CoA. The enzyme that is used here, that is the acetoacetyl CoA synthase. And then acetoacetyl CoA bind in another acetyl CoA molecule, and it's converted into the HMG CoA, that is a 3-hydroxy 3-methyl glutathione CoA. It's a 3-hydroxy 3-methyl glutathione CoA. Then an important enzyme come here and break down this HMG CoA. That enzyme is the HMG CoA lyase. HMG CoA lyase break down HMG CoA and convert into the acetoacetate, that is the primary ketone body. And this primary ketone body can be transported to the extrahepatic tissues, and where it can be used as energy source. And this acetoacetate can also be further converted into the beta hydroxybutyrate. That is the second ketone body, but this conversion is depending upon the level ratio of NAD and NADH. As we discussed that the ratio of NADH, due to massive beta oxidation, due to massive breakdown of free fatty acids, the level of NADH is high. As a result, acetoacetate reduced into the beta hydroxybutyrate. But in the extrahepatic tissues, where the level of NAD is high and NADH is low, then this beta hydroxybutyrate oxidized back into the acetoacetate. These two ketone bodies then can be transported to the target tissues, where they can be used as an energy source. And the target tissues, again, it enters into the target tissue, it enters into the mitochondria, and where it passes to the TCA cycle and it generates ATP.